Welcome to the Deep Frame Podcast. Today, we're exploring what it means to stay human in a world moving faster than we can comprehend. A world driven by AI, automation, instant communication, viral trends, and global upheaval. A world where attention is the new currency, where distraction is constant, and where the challenge isn't just surviving, but thriving while staying true to yourself. Take a moment wherever you are, breathe in, hold it, exhale. That's your first act of reclaiming your presence, as well as for myself. That's your first step into the deep frame. In this space, you're not a passive consumer of headlines, feeds, or algorithms. You're an observer, a thinker, a creator, a human, fully present and fully engaged. Let's start with technology. AI is everywhere. You can see it in news headlines, chatbots that write novels, tools that compose music, algorithms that predict markets, software that can literally think faster than you in certain ways. It's tempting to feel fear, and fear is valid. Any revolutionary tool that can outperform humans in multiple tasks will disrupt lives. But here's the key insight. AI doesn't strip you of humanity. It amplifies it. It magnifies the unique qualities that make humans powerful. Intuition, empathy, creativity, context, and the ability to synthesize experiences across disciplines. Think about a tool like ChatGPT or other generative AI. It can write, summarize, and even strategize, but it cannot feel. It cannot resonate emotionally. It cannot understand nuance the way a human mind does. That's your leverage. If you learn how to harness these tools intentionally, they become extensions of your mind. Supercharged cognition that allows you to create influence and connect at levels that would otherwise take decades. But if you ignore them or let them dictate your attention and actions, you risk being replaced in subtle but profound ways. Now, let's ground this in the human experience. Imagine waking up every day to a flood of information. Economic shifts, market volatility, AI breakthroughs, political tension, cultural upheavals. Most people scroll. Most people react. They panic, they overinvest, they underinvest. They get lost in the signal of daily chaos. But the deep frame is about stepping back and observing, about seeing systems instead of events, patterns instead of noise. When you can operate from that level of awareness, you don't react, you respond. You make decisions from clarity, not fear. Take the financial markets, for example. Gold has been surging, stocks swing wildly, crypto remains volatile. Central banks are adjusting interest rates. AI-driven trading adds unpredictability. For someone untrained in systems thinking, it feels like chaos. But if you look at the deeper currents, the psychology of fear and greed, the patterns of overreaction, the history of cycles, you gain insight. Insight equals agency. Insight equals power. Insight equals freedom. And this isn't just about money. It's about creativity. It's about influence. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Medium reward authenticity over polish, story over spectacle. The audience craves humans. They crave connection. They crave narrative, and that, my friend, is your superpower. AI can imitate, but it cannot replace the lived human experience, your voice, your perspective, and your story. Let's imagine your life as a frame. Most people live on the surface, reacting to stimuli. The deep frame is about stepping back and seeing the underlying structure. You begin to anticipate, to adapt, to act intentionally rather than being pulled along by events. This is mastery in a modern context, not just skill, but awareness. Identity is another critical dimension. In a fast-changing world, the greatest risk is losing yourself. When automation encroaches, when society dictates norms, when culture shifts rapidly, anchoring to your core values and strengths is non-negotiable. Ask yourself, what qualities will survive any disruption? What can no machine or algorithm ever replace? Those are your human capital. That's what gives you enduring power. The complexity of the modern world cannot be underestimated. AI, economics, geopolitics, social media, they intertwine in unpredictable ways. To navigate effectively, you need the capacity to synthesize, to see connections others miss, and to act decisively. Reactive people get overwhelmed. Proactive people see the currents before the wave hits and adjust their sails accordingly. I want you to visualize a day where you wake up not anxious about headlines, not consumed by notifications, but aligned. Aligned with your priorities, with your edge, with the tools at your disposal. You leverage AI to amplify your capabilities. You consume information intentionally, and you create content, influence, or wealth with purpose. You maintain clarity of mind and resilience of spirit. You operate from the deep frame. Every choice you make, what you focus on, who you talk to, what content you consume, what habits you cultivate, is part of the architecture of your life, your deep frame. Once you understand that, the world no longer controls you. You move through it with awareness, insight, and power. Let's get practical. How do we train the mind to operate in this frame? First, awareness. Daily reflection, journaling, observing your reactions, noticing where you get hooked, distracted, or reactive. Every time you catch yourself reacting instead of observing, you strengthen your awareness muscle. Second, intentionality. Once you know what's happening inside and around you, decide where your energy goes. Structure your day with purpose. Use tools consciously. Don't let them dictate your behavior. Build rituals that align with long-term growth. Third, skill expansion. Technology is a lever. AI, automation, creative tools. Learn them, master them, combine them with your uniquely human perspective. That's how you multiply impact. Fourth, relationships. In a world leaning toward automation, your human connection is irreplaceable. Empathy, mentorship, collaboration, influence. These are what sustain us, grow us, and differentiate us. Algorithms can replicate tasks, but not emotional resonance or trust. Invest in connection. Invest in depth. Fifth, reflection. Regularly step back. Consider the long view. Notice patterns. Ask yourself, are my habits, my routines, my choices aligned with the person I want to become? Are they building the life I want? Not just feeding the machine of distraction. Let's tie this together. Thriving in a high-speed automated world isn't about technology mastery alone. It's about mastering your mind, your perspective, your creativity, your empathy, your ability to see patterns, your ability to create meaning. That's the superpower the modern world rewards. That's the deep frame. Story time. Think about innovators and creators who thrived in chaos. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Maya Angelou, Alan Turing. What do they have in common? They operated from deep awareness. They leveraged tools without being enslaved by them. They created new paradigms. They understood human context. They mastered themselves. That's your model. That's achievable. That's within reach. Even in culture, look at trends like AI-generated art, viral short videos, meme culture. The content that resonates is human, raw, authentic, emotionally charged. You can replicate form with technology, but substance requires human experience, intuition, and perspective. Your voice matters. Your insight matters. Your narrative matters. Let's bring this home. Imagine yourself a year from now. You've embraced deep frame thinking. You've aligned your habits. You've mastered tools. You create impact. You influence with clarity. You navigate chaos without losing yourself. You're human at your highest expression. This is not a dream. This is practice, observation, and deliberate action. Every listener has the ability to build this frame. Start now. Observe, reflect, experiment, integrate, iterate, evolve. That is what it means to stay human in an automated world. That is what it means to thrive, not just survive. That is what it means to operate in the deep frame. Thank you for being here. Thank you for investing your attention. Keep questioning, keep observing, keep creating. Stay human, stay aligned, stay powerful. Stay in the deep frame.